Pilates is booming in popularity, but for a lot of people, especially older adults, it can feel intimidating or out of reach. In today's Fitness Friday, I took the reformer to break the stigma and learn a little bit more for me, for you, for all of us. Take a look.
Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna be able to walk after this.
Pilates is all the rage. It's also all types of intimidating if you don't know what you're doing and you see these machines and you see the women who, are drawn to this type of workout, who have the perfect Pilates body. And it's something I've been wanting to get into for a while, and I've been so intimidated to do so. We are joined by the owner, Avery Anderson, who's gonna kind of walk us through some things today. I'm gonna pick your brain and, learn what all this is about.
Pilates is absolutely for everybody in every type of body shape.
Full transparency, the second time I've ever done this, so I know not a thing. Let's start from the beginning. What is this machine?
This machine is called a reformer, and it's all based on like spring load, right? And so time under tension, a lot of balance work, a lot of core work, and it's kind of to work those small muscle fibers. And it kind of feels uncomfortable, like starting to lay down. A lot of people like it because you're laying down for a lot of the workout portions. So if you like to do that, it's great.
This is the warm up, and my legs are on fire already.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's the goal.
Yes, that is the goal. It can be really good rehab for an injury. I have a client that had just had surgery on her hips. I have every age possible. I have a client that brings her daughter in that's as young as 12.
Oh, wow.
And I have a client that is as young as 70, and he has Parkinson's. A lot of people have neck tension, neck injuries. So that's where Pilates can come in, where it's like, okay, I can still work my core without getting into my neck. Legs back in.
God.
I know, you feel that lower abdominal, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's almost a lifestyle. I want you to adapt through it. It makes you better in everyday life. You're not falling because you have better balance. You're feeling a lot more energized after. You can go do a bunch of things. It's worth a try, right? You don't lose anything with just trying, putting yourself out there, trying something that you've always kind of been interested in.
Pilates. Two thumbs up. It's hard, but you can do it. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it.
Joining us now is Pilates instructor and Body Talk owner Avery Anderson to show us how you can get started right at home. You don't need the reformer, at least to get into the groove. So someone watching right now thinking, I'm not flexible, or I'm not all the things, I don't have the Pilates body, maybe I'm too old to try this. I started thinking that. What would you tell them? And that's what we have the answer for.
Yeah, sometimes it's just in anything in life, really, it's just the first step.
Right.
So for us, ease us in with an exercise and a gentle. I'd say gentle.
Yes, absolutely. So I think the biggest thing is there's many things you can do at home on a mat, right? And then you don't need a reformer. You don't need all the expensive equipment. You just need your body weight and all the things. So I'll take you into the first one if you guys are ready.
Yes.
This one's called a bird dog. So you would come down on all fours on your mat, and we would extend that back leg. You can stay here. We can start a little tap moment through that leg. If you're ready for a little bit more, you can add that opposite arm at the same time. So now you're getting glute, you're getting arm through that stability, and then you're also getting core. So we can take it into a big press. You can extend that leg out. We can go nice and sideways, bring it back in, right? So that's one move that you can do on the mat, which you can also add things if you get more advanced, right?
How many of those do you need to feel the burn and to see results?
Yeah, usually I go for time. So if you have a timer on your phone, I would say doing that same move for about 20, 30 seconds, and then kind of moving on to the next move that we would have, right? So are you guys ready for the next one?
I think so.
Okay, cool. I'll show you a couple ones. So this one
I think I pulled something on the first one.
Already?
Phil.
Already, come on. Okay, so this would be the next one. We're targeting that outer glute component, right? Everyone wants a glute for the summer.
Yep.
A nice juicy butt. And then from here, we would just take a little tap, right? So same thing, you would stay in this for about 30 seconds. The goal is to kind of squeeze through that right glute, right? And we're starting to activate through that right glute. You can kind of bend and extend if you want to add some variations into it. We can go into a little pulsing. Pilates is a lot of pulsing, right? We're trying to get that muscle to fatigue. So that's another one. You would do the same thing on the other leg, right? So just flipping over to the other side. And then if we're really working for full body, we can also go into some arms. So you have like that tricep, you can lift those hips, start to bend those elbows through, and you would go for about 10 reps, right?
I can do that.
20-ish seconds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick question while you're doing this.
Of course.
Every exercise you just showed us
Yep.
is working way more than one part of your body.
Absolutely. Yep.
Right.
So you have glutes.
Core is engaged.
Yep, core is engaged, hamstrings, we're working the back of those arms right now. And if you want more, you can extend that leg, right? Then you have a little bit of your hamstring through your left glute. You're working through your flexibility, and then you have that component, right? So those are 3 easy moves, I would say, you could do right off the bat.
That's amazing. I see those and I'm like, I've done some of those, but I don't tie that into Pilates necessarily. But that is Pilates.
Yep, that is Pilates. So making sure you do it on the other side. We always have 2 sides of our body, right?
For people who are watching, and when I thought of Pilates the first time, I think of the reformer, the machine.
Yes.
But like you said, if you can't get to a Pilates class, if it's too expensive, if you don't have that equipment at home, are you getting the same benefit roughly out of
100%.
Pilates on the mat?
100%. Yep. Everything you can do on a reformer. Reformer is you have springs that make your weight harder, easier, all the things. So a reformer is obviously a very different machine, but you can do a lot of the same moves on your mat at home with no equipment necessary.
So the difference would be tension.
Yeah, difference
Like
would be
with weights.
tension. Yep, and you can add weights to everything we're doing here. You can grab 3-pound dumbbells and nice and light weights, but they feel so heavy after 20 seconds of you doing one thing, right?
So you really feel like we don't have a ton of time left, but like 10 minutes can get you that work. If you do 10 minutes,
10 minutes
every day, do you think in a few months you might start to
100%.
see results?
Yes,
Okay, that's what I'm
100%.
talking about. All I have is 10
Really?
minutes.
Yep, and you will see definition, I promise you. Yes,
Now that we
absolutely.
just put a schedule together for Alex,
All I have is 10 minutes, everybody.
how important is stretching when you're doing Pilates?
Huge. I think at any point after you finish a Pilates workout, there's always that element of stretching, whether you're on the reformer or on the mat at home. So always like 5 minutes of stretching at the end. It's so important for recovery. It's a huge part of what Pilates is. So yeah.
I appreciate it. Avery, thank you.
Of
Because you made it
course.
attainable for me. When I came in, I was so like, just awestruck to what this is. It made me feel very intimidated and out of place. And you made me feel comfortable. So
good.
thank you for that.
Yes,
And I'm going
yes.
to do, I like the little tap, tap.
Yes,
to the side.
good.
Work on those glutes.
Thanks for not making me do anything on the mat.
I know. I got to get you into the studio and get you to try some
Say
things.
less. That'll be on the next edition
the
of
next one.
Pilates
Exactly.
with Phil.
Thanks, Avery.
Avery,
Of course.
thank you.
Of course, guys.